So there's a few things that I've learned over my career, which I think would definitely benefit someone just coming into this industry. And one of the biggest ones is have fun with it. You know, sometimes we do have a very serious job because it does cost a lot of money. You know, there's a lot of money that goes into creating films, creating commercials, creating television shows. There's a hell of a lot of money in it. But the one thing I'd say is sometimes people take it far too seriously than what it needs to be and actually forget why they were here in the first place. You know, it is an art form, it is creative. Yes, you have to be technically minded. Yes, you're going to get pressure from clients and directors and producers and crew. However, just remember that you've worked really hard to get to where you needed to be. And you need to always remember that you did it to be creative because that's who you are. And just never lose sight of that. That's why I'm saying taking it too seriously sometimes can be your worst enemy because you actually just forget why you even enjoy it. Another thing I'd say, which is something I've seen in a lot of people that I've either trained over the years or just spoken to, is that they don't focus on one tool at a time. You know, and in my head, this is what I've always tried to do in my career anyway, is I focus on one tool at a time. You know, I wanted to, you know, with Avid, I started there in my career, but then I moved into Premiere and I mastered Premiere because I was like, I met so many people who could kind of use all of the things, all of the tools. You know, I could use all those editing tools. I can use this, I can use DaVinci Resolve, I can use, you know, I'm a cinematographer, I'm a director, I'm a sound, you know, mixer. And I always find it's better to be a master at one thing than be okay at many. So that's another thing I'd say. Just keep yourself focused, master one tool, and then once you feel super confident in that, you can move on to the next challenge. And another thing I'd say on that is remain calm under pressure. There are times where you'll be in an editing suite and you could have 16 to 17 people standing there watching your film. And that's hard. It's really hard because you do take criticism for a living. That is what a film editor does. He or she sits there and takes criticism for a living, and it's difficult sometimes. You know, sometimes you've worked so hard because in your head it really works, but for the clients it doesn't work for whatever reason. Now, sometimes that's either a good thing or a lot of the times it's a bad thing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I just say, like, remain calm under pressure. It's not a criticism about you or your abilities. It's just, you know, they've changed their mind, you know, and they a lot of the times as well, which is a big tip I'd say, is remember that it's never directed at you. A lot of the pressure and a lot of the, you know, a lot of the sort of maybe the comments they put on you, it's not directed at you. It's because they're frustrated because, you know, most of the time going from a brief to a film can be a very hard process, and not necessarily everything translates from page to screen. So you are a huge part of that process. You're an integral part, but just don't necessarily always blame yourself. You know, you take criticisms for a living, but you make great content and, you know, your work lives forever.